everyone, this is SuperTal3 here, back with episode 4 of my Python 4 Beginners series. In this episode, we're going to be learning how to use while loops and for loops within Python. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and open up your editor, your code editor, and navigate to your desired projects directory and create a new file called ep4while.py. Well, you can really name it whatever you want, but that's what I've named mine, along with a standard naming convention. So I have episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. And right here, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm writing my code in today. We'll go ahead and we'll create two variables. Actually, we only need one. We'll name it var1 is equal to 1 equals not 2. Will equal to 0. This will be used for our while loop. Now, before we create our while and for loops, we'll make a couple print statements. And the first one will say running while loop, and then we'll do print running for loop. Boom, there we go. Now with the while loop, it's really rather simple. All you do is you type while, so parentheses, and say while, we'll say while var1 is less than 10, colon, and then we're going to print var1 is less than 10 but equal to, do a little arrow, space right there, and then we'll do string form of var1. There we go. Now if we go ahead and we run this program, so we'll do Python episode 4 tab auto completes. Oopsie. This is what happens when you forget to increment your variable within a while loop. You can get something called an infinite loop right there, or just printed out an infinite amount of zeros. It was ridiculous. So, the solution to this is simply do var1, the new version of var1, is equal to the old version of var1 plus 1. That increments it, means it will only run 10 times. There we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And it says running for loop, but we haven't coded that part yet. So to comment this code out properly, we would make a comment right here, and we would say incrementing var1 variable. And then right here, print, we would say printing var1's value. And then we could do, like right here, we could say while loop, and then run as long as var1 is less than 10. There we go. And then right here we could do for loop. There we go. Now let's go ahead and do our for loop. For loop is a little bit different. Unlike the while loop, which I would like you to know is typically used for infinite loops. So say I want to do a login prompt, I would do while is logged in is equal to false, show the login prompt on the screen. And it would just keep looping, so if they goofed it up and it didn't get set to true, probably by an if statement returning true, it would run it over again and again and again and again until they got it. Now if you didn't want that to happen and you did want it to be a fixed amount of times, you could set a counter kind of like we did with var1 and have a double condition in here that says as long as login attempts is less than 3 and failed login, and is logged in is equal to false, then run this, and then once it got equal to 3, say they messed up 3 times, then it would kick them off and would end the program and say, nope, you can't log in, you have to restart, so everything is started over. So that's good. While loops are good for infinite loops, while for loops are used strictly for finite loops. With for loop in Python, the syntax is for, and we'll just do I in the range. We'll do a dynamic range, so we'll just do var2. Actually, you know what? we'll do var1, comma, var2. So it starts at var1, it ends at var2. I'm going to do var2 is equal to 100. There we go. Now we'll do print the value of var1 was, and we'll do comma, space. Actually, let's do colon because that looks better. Do plus the string form of var1, and then we'll do plus and the value of var2 is equal to, and we'll do plus the string form of var2 right there. There we go. And this will automatically increment the counter, which is I. So I will start at var1's value, and it will work it'll go all the way up, and it'll loop through this until I is equal to var2, at which point the program will stop running. Well, the for loop will at least. So we'll go ahead and we'll say runs until the value of I, which at loop start is set to var1's value. If a starting number is not implied, I will be set to 0, just so you know that, in case you forget to do a starting variable, or if you want to start at 0, in which case just you don't have to put one in there. We'll say which at loop start is set to var1 value, so it runs until the value of I is equal to the value of var2. Let's run this. There we go. Okay. Actually, we want to say the value of I. And we'll do I right here. That was a long loop right there, actually. Ooh. Okay. Now I run this, and it counts all the way up, starting at 10. See, 9. Then we go to 10. And we run this all the way up until it gets to 99, because it won't go to 10. I did realize that we forgot to put a space here. There we go. That's good. And if we run this, there it goes, all the way up to 99, so it has to be less than the top value. So keep that in mind when you are programming. However, it does start at 10 rather than going up to 11, starting at 11. So you do get the same number of iterations as if it started at 11 and went to 100 and printed out 100. But that's the way programming works. You start at 0. So if your top number is 10, then you start at 0. And you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like in our while loop. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. In this video, we learned about how to use the while loop and the for loop in Python. These are two loops that you commonly see in many programs and that you will definitely be using in the future. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and hit the notification bell icon so that you're notified every time I release a new video. Thanks for watching. This is Untitled 3 signing out.